Welcome back to Only Scratching Winners. We've just seen the last final episode of Season 2 for The Mandalorian. So, like we do every week, especially when there's new Mandalorian episodes, we're not Only Scratching Winners right now. We are the Scratchalorians.
And oh my gosh.
Ton of stuff to talk about with you. So, if you haven't seen the latest episode of The Mandalorian, the finale of Season 2, you probably want to go watch that and then come back to your favorite Scratcher channel and watch this video because we have so much to discuss. But before
There's so much.
There is a ton. I mean, I can see this being like a 3-hour video.
It could do that. Yes, we can. Oh my gosh.
But
I can't even talk right.
But before we get to that point, let's go over some of the Scratchers we have. I saw these new ones, the Strikes and Spares. You know, then we just have some Treasure Hunt, new look to the High Roller Poker, and then Set for Life and some cash bonus. So, this first one, this is the first time I'm playing this, Strikes and Spares. So, you basically just scratch the bowling balls up there, and it's going to give you numbers, and I guess if you get a strike, you win that prize.
Who doesn't love bowling?
I know. I haven't been bowling in a long time.
Me neither.
But you know what? We can talk about that on our separate,
That's right.
YouTube channel called Scratching and Bowling.
You're right.
Okay, so we have Season 2 finale of
Oh my gosh.
The Mandalorian.
Where do we even start?
Well, let's start from the beginning. So
Okay.
they go after that Dr. Pershing. In Slave One, I mean, Boba Fett's a good pilot.
Yeah.
I mean, and like how Slave One flies, like that's I know it's like a transport, but it's kind of like a fighter too. I mean, so
It's amazing.
So we have Slave One, disabling with the ion cannon, that Imperial
Love the
shuttle.
ion cannon.
They get the doctor, they're pressing him for information, and like, what do you think when like Cara Dune is like listening to that Imperial talk about like being on the Death Star and watching Alderaan being blown up?
You knew she was going to just kill him.
Right? Like,
Oh my gosh.
I kind of felt like last week when Mayfeld had that look, when that other Imperial officer was talking about it.
Yep.
And it was like, nope. Yeah.
Yep, you are done.
Right?
Yep.
So, yeah, you kind of predicted last week that they were going to get the gang back together to go after the child.
I did. I was a little wrong.
Why do you say you're wrong?
Well, because I thought they were going to bring Mayfield with them,
Right.
and he did not come back. But I think he's going to come back in some regard somewhere.
I think he's going to be one of those characters that like we see at least one episode every season, especially since their seasons are so damn short.
Yeah.
So,
but I liked all the Mandalorians together.
Right, you were right about Bo-Katan and her group. So you see them again. Do you like how they called out Boba as not being a real Mandalorian, like being a real Mandalorian? Like you're just, that was your donor's armor.
That was so funny. That was great. Yes.
Oh, so they get the gang together basically, and they have to go this like light cruiser where Moff Gideon is, and like so we see Boba Fett, like he's the distraction, right? He's a diversion for them to get on there. So once they get onto that cruiser, I thought that Boba was going to be their way out.
I did too. Yep.
But
I also had thought that the comms officer on Moff Gideon's ship was going to turn out to be Sabine Wren.
Oh, right. And we can talk about that one. We'll talk about that one near the end. But yeah, so we had some predictions there. So Boba, he's gone. Like he's gone after that.
He's out.
And we don't see him until the end credit scene.
I know it.
I know it. If you didn't watch the end credit scene, or if you didn't know there was an end credit scene,
go back and do it.
Go back and watch it. Like, pause this video, go watch it, and then come back to us. Yes. So, they're on the cruiser, and like, it's just a bloodbath for all those stormtroopers.
Anyone there.
But you kind of could see that coming, though, right?
Right.
Hey, we're getting pretty close to a strike here. We just need a 21 on the
we'll take
second.
A strike.
So, let's fast forward. They kill a lot of people, a lot of stormtroopers, yep. And you get to the point where, like, Mando finds the child with Moff Gideon.
Well, he had to fight all of those dark troopers, or that one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, he just jettisoned the rest out into space.
He jettisoned all the dark troopers except the one that got out.
And he was doing something.
And that was a pretty good fight.
Right, and like, look how strong that Beskar is, because I mean, that dark trooper was just pounding Mando's head, and
he was.
It looks like he was alive. So
yeah.
So I mean, he defeats that one, and the others are just blown into the vacuum of space, right?
Right.
Which you think would solve a lot of problems if they weren't droids, you know. But we'll get to that later, right? So, okay, Moff Gideon, Mando. Gideon basically says, like, I don't need him anymore, right?
Well, Moff Gideon was hiding in the brig with Baby Yoda holding the Darksaber over his head.
Right.
You know, kind of taunting Mando that way.
Right.
Jerk. You know, but then he told Mando, I don't really need him. I've got all the blood I need from him.
Right. Basically. So,
which would make any dad mad.
Oh, I would be furious.
Right?
Yeah. So, you know, he tells him basically to take the kid, and then Moff Gideon, you know, crosses him.
Of course.
Fight ensues, and then the next thing we know, we see Mando like taking Moff Gideon with Grogu to the Grogu, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Onto the bridge.
Yeah.
In shackles.
Right. But so I had to think back to my knowledge of like Clone Wars and Rebels, because when Mando was like, "Hey, here, Bo, here's the Darksaber," like, I knew she couldn't take it.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that rule.
Mm-hmm. But when you think to Rebels, though, Sabine gave it to her.
But Sabine was just holding it for her.
So that was different. So Sabine came into it, but didn't get it through a fight or anything. It was just...
She was just safeguarding it. That's different.
Well...
But there may be some kind of old-time lore that they'll look up where there's a way. You never know.
Right. Maybe. So, man, it took us forever just to scratch this first ticket. $8, though, on the Strikes and Spares. So, right. That's not a bad game. We might use it. We might buy a few more of these for a $3 game. Okay. I'll try to scratch a little faster as we talk so we can get through this stack so we don't have a...
we don't want a half-hour video here.
4-hour video. So, you know, we basically think, oh man, these dark troopers come back. They're droids. They have, you know, they can fly back to the ship and survive in space. So
wait. Let's go back to Sabine and not Sabine, Bo-Katan and Mando. Do you think they're going to have to fight each other?
I don't know. I honestly like.
That's what it was looking like. She's looking at him like, okay, wait a minute.
I was distracted and I scratched a box that...
Dude.
Well. I'll keep track of it.
So, like, in future episodes, do you think they're going to have to become enemies instead of being, like, on each other's side?
I don't know, because, I mean, she... Oh, you know what? That one I accidentally scratched? We were going to scratch anyway, see? Bar of gold. Hey, one more of those bar of golds would be nice. $50.
Nice.
So, I don't know, like, but here's the thing. He made a promise to her. Like, for her to come and help, he was going to help her take back Mandalore.
Right.
And
he has to join her troops.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we have $5 coming back to us on this $3 treasure hunt because we got the map.
Profit is good.
It's always good. Next, we have a new looking high roller poker. I think these are kind of like the poker night ones.
Okay.
So just brand new for the year 2021. So yeah, I think Mando could very well like join her group.
Right, but does she have to kill him in order to get the Darksaber, or can they just fight until...
I think it's just
he can't yield, apparently.
Right, I think it's just a fight until... I think it's just a fight. Right,
but he tried to yield it. He tried to say, I yield, and he was told he can't do that. So there's a lot of question there. I don't know.
Yeah, I know. I think that... Do you think that's going to be answered right away in Season 3, or do you think that we'll just kind of have to watch them? I think maybe the first part of that story arc will be taking over Mandalore. Because, let's move on to the next part of this episode. Okay. So, basically Moff Gideon it's like he's defeated. He tries to go for that blaster he was hiding, shoots bow. Mando dives in front of Grogu to save him, like any good parent would do, right?
Of course, yes.
And then you see a single X-Wing, and this is where...
Oh, my goodness.
You know what? We just watched it today. Today's been a pretty good day.
It has been a good day.
Because there's only one X-Wing. And you know that X-Wing looked a lot like Red 5. And you see that dark cloaked figure come out. And once I saw that green lightsaber, you knew Luke Skywalker is back. What a better... Like,
there was no better way.
No, and we were talking about, like, who possibly could be the Jedi that comes to Grogu. Because I think at the beginning of the season, we're kind of thinking it could be Ahsoka. But she has her own plans. She has her own series, you know?
Yes. I, for a little while, was thinking it would be Jocasta Nu.
Okay.
Because, you know, he can't talk yet, and he seemed to have been peaceful, and she was the librarian and all that, you know.
Right, but she was old. I was
thinking there was a possibility, but clearly, no. After he started flinging stormtroopers, it's like, no.
No. So on that high roller poker, we got a ticket back, so that's another $5 to try another one of those high roller pokers. Up next, we have our set for life. For $10,000 a month.
I also thought it could have been Mace Windu.
Right.
But that was not the right lightsaber.
No, it was not. Once you saw that green...
That's right.
You knew it was Luke Skywalker.
And the glove.
And the glove, yeah.
Yeah.
Luke Skywalker. Man.
I know.
I'm not going to lie. That, like... We had an episode where Boba Fett was in it. We had an episode where Slave One was in it. We had an episode where Luke Skywalker basically had one of those hallway scenes like his father did in Rogue One. Like when he's fighting the group of those dark troopers and like crushing them. Basically the same thing. Like that runs in the family. Just knowing how to fight your way down a hall. So yeah, I mean... In that, what he said to Mando, like he he will protect the child with his life, and he will train him in the ways of the Force, and like, just wow, like, you know, all this has to be before he set up his Jedi Academy with Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Because, and especially like when you see those like flashbacks in the new trilogy, I mean, it's like a middle-aged Luke. This was still young Luke Skywalker.
That's right.
So, all right, we only had one number match on Set for Life, by the way.
Okay, good.
And we are going to see if it's a big one. And it's a ticket. All right.
So if he was going to stay with Luke Skywalker at the Jedi Academy, then he would not have lived, right?
Maybe. I don't know.
So something tells me he might not have stayed with Luke Skywalker at the Jedi Academy.
Or, right. Or he stayed for a little bit.
That's what I mean.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see, like, what happens with Grogu, like, in the next season. I think that next season of The Mandalorian, we see maybe the first part of it without the child. Or we see it going back and forth. Like, you know, we see a scene with the child and Luke, and then you see a scene with, you know, Mando and Bo. But just the fact that Luke Skywalker showed up, and it just shows like he is a badass. Like, he is such a cool Jedi. Like like if I was trained to be a Jedi, I'd want to be like Luke.
Who wouldn't?
Ben Solo.
And he's wrong.
Exactly.
He's very misguided.
So, I mean, and then like that last part, Mando takes his helmet off.
I know, again.
So I can see him doing it like in front of Mayfield, you know, and being okay with it because it was a necessity to get the child, but like he just did it to show Grogu his face, you know, just to have that like that one last like bonding moment, or that make that connection with him one more time. And he did say like, I'm going to see you again, I promise. So I think we see him pretty soon. Like I
think he might be abandoning his Death Watch guy and joining more of the mainstream Mandalorian people.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
I agree. But so final thing we have to talk about before we scratch. We only had one number match, 8 and 8.
Okay.
So we didn't get any bonus. So before we scratch this, just a couple, we'll do our housekeeping things. Like, of course, if you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed already.
Please.
What other channel is going to show only winning scratchers and talk about your favorite Star Wars TV show?
Seriously.
So, the end credits, the scene after the credits. That's Jabba's palace, right?
Yep.
In, you know, just seeing Boba Fett walk in there, shoot the guy, take the seat, just sit down. He's like sitting down like he owns the place.
That's right. And Fennec is right next to him.
Yeah. Like, she kind of has that role that Boba had with Jabba. Like, you remember that image? Like, Jabba there, and then, you know, Bo would be right next to the same thing. So, that's prelude to the Boba Fett show.
That's right.
We are going to get so many good Star Wars shows.
We are going to have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, we're going to have to be scratching forever because we're going to have to do this for the Rangers of the New Republic, for Ahsoka, you know, for the Rogue One spin-off TV show.
There are 10 at least coming.
And we still have The Mandalorian.
Right.
So let's scratch this last one. We'll wrap it up. This is going to be the longest video we've ever done. This is kind of going over, like, oh, let's keep these short, like, under 15 minutes. Yeah, this is breaking that. Okay,
we're trying hard, guys.
Small zeros.
Well, it's a collective, guys.
$20. So, not too bad of a day. I mean,
no.
So we have 20, 25, 30, 35, and with 8, 43. So $43 back today. I mean, it's not terrible, but you know what? We can't just scratch big winners on this channel and only show those videos. We have to show all of the winners. And sometimes you just get a bunch of free tickets and $5 tickets here and there.
That's right.
So this is going to conclude the second season of the Mandalorian discussion. So it might be a while until we can call ourselves the Scratchalorians again.
It's true.
But we'll think of other topics and ideas that we can kind of do like a weekly theme to, like we did with all the Scratchalorian ones.
Cobra Kai's coming back.
Exactly. Cobra Kai is coming back. So thank you for watching. Thank you for putting up with us as we are the Scratchalorians. This has been Only Scratching Winners. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button. And until next time, this is the way.
This is the way.